with shapes in general, the bombs and the keys are so much more valuable than regular shapes. So it looks like we're getting ready to start here. So we'll get to see where our start screen is.
All right, chat, get hype. Let's see where we're gonna find that wood sword. Here we go. Hype time. Commentary go mode. You got that right. It is go mode time.
Bomb hole. Oh, where are you?
That's right.
That is the correct input.
We're starting in the desert, sir.
Oh, very nice start screen. Right in the middle of Hyrule.
That's right.
And
it's a good one
lots
to
of places to go.
Yeah.
Right away, a meat shop. It looks like we're going to have a divergence, so I like this. We've got JSR going to head to the northeast, which has a really good cluster of the Armos, which is nice to check for that free item. And Fury's going to head towards the southwest area towards start.
Yeah, this is good. There's really no wrong way to go here because you have a lot of open dungeons and open caves up in the northeast, like you said. And then start, we know, has 2 right away. And then if you go even further west, you've got an Armos item and a couple more open caves. So this is a good divergence. It's fun to see.
And the free item is, in fact, the heart container. It's at the Armos east of level 2.
Okay.
So 4 hearts now for JSR.
Yeah, we're inching towards guaranteed white sword pickup or white sword item pickup.
Bombs for 12. That's pretty nice. And it's right there by start.
Yeah, this is a Redbird approved seed because I'm always searching for bombs. So bombs for 12 is a welcome sight.
Yeah, I generally end up with 30 to 40 as mine. So
right.
It's a bit rough, but yeah, that's a nice price. And again, I like the divergence here. Like you were saying, it's any direction it's good to go because you're right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different places to check.
Yep. There's caves on either side, so this is good. This is a tough screen to get through. If you can't screen scroll this, these boomerangs all the boomerangs here take 1 heart of damage, and then those Lionels can take 2 if they get you with the sword. So that's a rough screen from Fury.
Yes, indeed. And JSR does get the sword. So it looks like Fury's going to actually head that direction. So maybe that death actually being an advantage for him in this case.
Yeah, Fury noped out of that one, and I think it was the correct decision to go the other way. So wise move here. JSR checking the coast already. Let's see what we got.
Ooh,
it's the raft.
Not what you want to see, but if you run into that raft block, it's nice to be able to have it sitting out there in the open.
Yep.
And the Lost Hills Armos contains Dungeon 5, which JSR is going to see here as well. He might actually take a dive into it since he has the sword.
Yeah, 5's one of those. It's 1 through 5 I'm pretty tempted just to go ahead and jump into without a lot of equipment. 6, 7, or 8's kind of one of those, I'll poke my head in a couple rooms, and that's about it.
Yeah, I guess JSR is going to opt out as well. And we do find 9 as well, right at the Blue Candle Shop east of 5. So 2 dungeons in the northeast here, which is seems to be a good place to be.
Yeah, I think JSR is trying to get a candle or get some bombs at least, because it's hard to explore shapes when you're on 0 bombs. So makes sense kind of to duck out of this one too.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, the overworld Octorok's not being cooperative.
Not at all, especially without the sword. I mean, that right there is one choke point that if you get some nastier enemies, it's very tough to get past.
Yeah, definitely one of those screen scroll advantage type things. And a bomb shop at the letter cave as well. So 8 bombs here for JSR right away.
I am seeing chat that we don't have any game audio. We'll get that fixed for you here pretty quick for you, okay?
We can sing for you if you'd like.
That's all you, sir. If you would like to sing, go for it.
Doodly doodly doodly.
I need to refresh my screen here, I think.
Yes, now we have game sound. Very good.
All right. Told you we fixed it. We're playing Blackout. This is a Blackout seed, guys. Blackout Overworld.
That'd be fun.
Guess what they've got.
All right, so bombs here for Fury. He's going to find this sword relatively soon, I would imagine. And, JSR, I think, is going to go back to level 5 and see what he can find there.
Yeah, I think what he was doing is exactly that. He was getting some bombs because he knew it was a shape seed. And It's very hard to explore without those. All right, so JSR did a trick there that if you've watched Vanilla Runners, if you ever seen them go into Vanilla 1 and leave and come back out, it's called doing the pirouette. What that does, it unlocks the door that's just to the north in the start because the game believes you've entered from that top screen of the screen. So JSR did the same thing there where he opened up the Armos, went in there, came back out, and then opened it up again, and the game thought he came from the top, so it opened up that bomb hole. So that's one way to save a bomb there coming through.
And just like we were talking about earlier, walks in the first room, 5 likes, 2 key doors, and nopes right on out.
He's like, nope, sorry, bud.
Yeah, we'll get a wood sword pickup here for Fury. Unfortunately, died on the screen with the heart for under the Armos, but not too big of a deal at this point in the game.
Yeah, he'll get that right away. Knowing where it is, the knowledge is good.
And as chat's pointing out, the big secret is only 75 rupees, so might possibly be a little bit short, but 174 right now for JSR, so if he does find a hint cave, would be able to pick that up if he wanted to.
Yeah, he hasn't seen many of the guys that take your money yet, so he wants to use that money right away. Man, that's a nasty screen.
Nothing like level 1 with Lionels.
Blue Lionels to the east of that bridge, yeah, that's tough. You might be able to get in, but good luck getting out.
Yeah, and Korea on the overworld. So, like, again, like we were talking about earlier, Lionels and Korea, probably one of the worst combinations on the overworld. I'll even take Wizrobes most of the time. Lionels and Korea, they just, they ruin your day.
Yeah, I like Wizrobes on the overworld because with the orange ones, it's almost, infinite bombs. I mean, you're patient enough, you can farm them all day. And they don't move anywhere. They're easy to avoid in the overworld. But the blue ones that screen scroll.
Yeah, that's true.
That. Yeah.
Level 6.
6. All right. Open out of that one? No, it might go back in.
Perfect pirouettes.
Yep.
And again, lots and lots of key doors. It's not what you want to see early on in the dungeons.
No, not at all. NSU rooms can drop something, though, so maybe he's looking for a key or hoping for a key right here. He got one, and he can keep going.
Ooh, that was close. He almost hit the retry.
Zarak, we got to talk after this if you're trying to get B-hats back in dungeons.
Yeah, I'll pass on the P-hats in dungeons. I actually didn't play any of those, but I did watch them, and
they were brutal.
I can say for certain that I would go against that. Nice Triforce.
Oh, yeah, an accidental Triforce there. I don't think he meant to pick that up. I think he's going to dig 6.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't dig 6.
Not going to dig it? Oh, he's out. He's going to nope out. That's why you guys are better than me.
It depends on who I'm playing, too. But, sometimes. But, I mean, you still got every other dungeon to look at. And 6, he saw the map of that. I don't disagree with just noping on out of that.
Yeah, that 6 was huge. He found that in the first couple and he took off. He's still collecting money. He's sitting on their Scrooge McDuck. Let's see what he's going to do with it.
Meanwhile, Fury's still running around looking for... looks like he's going to go back to this Armos screen, so he'll find that heart there.
Yep, so that's a good pickup, just because this overworld's kind of nasty right now.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit more leeway, at least.
He's going up towards the Vanilla 100 and the...
Yeah, he'll find that bomb shop at the letter cave, but other than that and some cash, he's not going to really find too much.
That's about it. JSR, meanwhile, is going towards Vanilla 3, and now he's going to go up towards the Armos, which is west of Vanilla 4.
And he did find 7 at the medicine shop north of Vanilla 3, but just decides that that's not worth his time right now, and he's probably going to look for those 1, 2, and 3 dungeons.
Yeah, he's found 5, 6, and 7 so far, and he's saying, come on, guys. Something a little better here. Now he's starting to get some money taken away. Probably going to visit this ferry, refill his health so he can keep continuing to go through. No, he's just going to go down. Well, with those Lionels right in his way.
Yeah, these Lionels are just, man, they're just terrible.
Yeah, they've been in the Southwest, like, almost every seed that I've watched so far. We're called. There's level 4 from Fury. All right, good. This could be a small advantage if we Oh, no bombs though, so can't continue.
Which is surprising because I thought he went to the letter cave, which he could have bought some bombs, but JSR dips into 7 and
he's looking to see.
Right.
I'm not sure if he's going to go into 7 or if he's going to. Okay, yeah. I didn't know if he was refilling his health there.
Oh boy!
Here you go.
Welcome to our home.
Welcome to 7.
All right, well, staircase here for Fury. He did get it open with a left or right transition. Oh my goodness! He's gonna
7.
look. I don't blame him. I'll check the next adjacent rooms, but
if it's an open room, you might as well.
Yeah, wise man once said, "Try and go."
That's right. All right, so we got 6 and 7 for JSR. No items from the dungeons, but it's a couple good, nice pickups if he's able to find like everything else he needs in the other ones. Not having to dig those 2 dungeons saves quite a bit of time.
Yeah, possible item room there for Fury, but it's a 3 blue Wizrobe, Dark Nut, and he's just going to take the Triforce in the room beforehand.
All right, so we have, to recap here, we have Triforces from 4, 6, and 7. I have no clue what's in any of them.
Absolutely.
This is great for commentary.
I didn't recap. Heart Container on the coast is the raft, and the Heart Container is the the Power Bracelet item.
That's all we have, yeah, that's it.
All right, so a candle pickup. That's awesome.
That's great for Fury because we're able to now, because of the start location, go start burning the forest. So this is good.
And JSR I think he's gonna head up to the same area there, so he's gonna be able to pick that up as well. So these guys, keeping pace. And the wand is the item, and it's 4 hearts.
That's huge. It's gonna be huge for Fury as far as getting into dungeons and being able to clear them a little easier. If JSR dips back into some dungeons or finds dungeons before finding that wand, that could be a pretty big pickup for Fury right now.
Yes, indeed. And Magic Sword up by level 9. So that is in play if these guys get some hearts. It's not actually going to be out of the way to go check. So that's kind of nice as well.
Yeah, that's huge. The only issue is if they're dipping out of dungeons like they are, they're probably not going to amass a number of hearts needed for that Magic Sword.
Yeah, highly doubtful. And level 3 at the 100 secret in the forest. And Fury going to do some screen transitions to open some doors.
Yep. Wise move here.
When JSR can survive, he will get a candle.
So there are keys everywhere in the scene. Or
well,
key doors. Key doors. There are not keys everywhere. They're key doors.
Yeah. This is a tough choice.
I'd go up.
Always go up.
Yeah,
Dungeons
always go
build
up.
Upwards, so going up is a good choice.
Jeez, here's your heart. What do we know here, sir?
We know that the dungeon loves him.
And a wand blast to the door. Nicely done, Fury.
Oh man. No keys, no bombs. That's gosh. That's the problem with these early dungeons so far, and these shape type deals is it's hard to get into them.
It is. There's a bomb, so maybe you go back in there and try to open up, and a bomb shop.
Nice.
So.
All right, good stuff.
Yeah, you can clear the south coast if you can't get anywhere else in this level, which is good for routing purposes. But more importantly, hopefully we can get somewhere in 3 here.
It's going to be interesting see what JSR does. Having taken 2 Triforces already, let's see if he takes that 3rd one or if he chooses to try to clear that room. At least an option in 3.
Oh, that opened it up pretty good. Oh, here we go. Get out of that room now.
Oh, man. He just takes it, and yeah, he's going to head on out.
JSR with 4 Triforce pieces and a wood sword.
4? Where did he get the other one?
Oh, I'm sorry, 3. You got 1 in 4.
Oh, he got 1 in 4. Okay, fair enough.
Just looking at the level.
Yeah, those Blue Land Mola, at least he's on the right-hand side of the room. If he wants to, he can stand there and wand, but man, it's time-consuming.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
It's the worst. I hate Blue Land Mola in early dungeons like this, where you've just got no resources to... I mean, the wand is nice at least, but...
Right.
Dude, they're just brutal. Actually, it's a bomb door, so he can't just stand there.
You can't just stand there. No, you got to go.
Oh, it's horrible.
Well, hopefully that and the place to the left has nothing for him, so he doesn't have to revisit the room.
Well, there goes the wand theory.
Just keep going north. Yeah, JSR got the wand, so that's good. He's going to kind of catch up combat-wise here. Okay, so we're going north, it looks like. This is good for 3.
Yeah.
Could be ladder block to the right, but many options.
In the hint. That's so great.
Yeah, right.
And, yeah, we'll see JSR dig into 3 here as well. So, I mean, you know, it's good.
And stuck, and now you got to go back through the Lamola room.
Game, please.
Which way
At
does
some
he go?
point, these guys got to dig for an item somewhere. You know. JSR grabs the heart. Bombs up, bombs right. Left is the winner.
The Lamolas are actually playing nice, that's good to see. JSR's got to get out of the room really quick.
He's gonna
clear
down. Man mode.
Are they being good? Look at these guys. These guys never do this for me. Are you kidding me?
Nope. They bum rush me and I die every time.
Right.
I tried a 360 no scope the wand and it just doesn't work for me either.
I want his cart, I tell you that.
Yeah,
He
we
gets
got
bomb
Paul's voice
drops.
room.
Yeah.
All right, so this gives some access to a little bit more as well. So maybe we'll find the item room here.
Yeah, they've explored a decent amount of 3 so far with nothing. And 3's not usually that big, so.
As I say that,
More Lamolas.
these are the red variety. They're a bit slower.
And a key. That's huge.
Man, the wand making such a difference for these Poles voice. It's truly astounding. Only
Yeah,
having to
that
deal with
wand is
pilot
OP,
skill.
I tell you that.
The hitbox, it's amazing.
It's insane, yeah. It's my favorite item in the entire game is this wand.
Ooh, bomb hole.
Yeah, good find there by Fury.
Oh,
And the
and the
item room.
staircase.
With
a
a key. Jeez. What are you guessing? Boomerang?
Power bracelet.
Okay, that'll work.
I mean, it's not completely useless that we know of.
Right. Even if it leads to one more heart, it's served its function.
Yeah, like Toaster's saying, you can hit things behind you. It's so great. It's especially good for fighting against blue dark nuts because you can just be like, oh gosh, I'm gonna get hit, and then you just kind of whirlwind and save yourself. So.
And you fling them across the screen or throw them behind you, and yeah, it's great. Oh, up in the HUD there too. Okay, a bomb drop. So Fury's going to leave this dungeon most likely with some resources that. Oh, never mind. There's a key door. Clear this room for the key, hopefully. Yeah, right. Like, all right, I'm leaving here with 8 with another key. Okay, there we go.
I might even check up just to see if I can get another one.
I absolutely would have. Or down here.
It's just one of those things because we've already seen 7 key doors at the beginning of the other. Oh, JSR dies.
Yeah, JSR with the death. Yeah. So Fury's out of 3, which is good.
With the power bracelet, which
keep exploring. Mm-hmm.
And if JSR continues to go, I don't know that you can get this. If you can get to the Triforce from the left side, JSR may miss the item entirely.
We'll see. In that question, does he keep going or? No,
it's a great question. I don't know.
With as much as he's done so far. Get out of there, dude. There you go.
Yeah, we find the first any road.
Let's see how good these are to the runners. Oh, that one's good.
Yeah, we always like Dead Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you can't screen scroll. That is a lifesaver.
Well,
at least you can save a bomb.
That's the better Death Mountain location, though. So between the two, there's an upgrade.
Know.
Oh, and another Death Mountain location.
With the Lionels there, I'm not so sure that was much better. But
get the power bracelet. Go check it.
Probably gonna check the. As I said, maybe check the 2 spots here and then head over to the grave. But
maybe Fury heard.
Blue Lionels on these screens are terrible.
All right, there's some money.
Now they just need something to spend it on. Unfortunately, I haven't really seen much other than a bomb shop.
Right.
But again, save 3 bombs, which could be a big deal, right? Like, my biggest problem is bombs.
Absolutely, the whole seed, and that's why you take all. Even if you have no intention, to take any roads anywhere else because you're routing when you want to keep going on the one that you found. You still take them all to save you bomb trouble later. And it also could be you open up the very next hole that you were going to on the very next screen, so it saves you a bomb that way. So you take all four every time.
Yeah, and Arrow's here. Oh, and he's not going to buy him. He must. At this point, I think he's saving for that blue ring. There's no reason to not take the arrows otherwise, or hints.
Yeah. I mean, if you're already a couple Triforces in, you're not going to have a lot of to see. The blue ring might be a pretty good pickup because you could have already missed the red ring.
Yeah, for sure. And JSR, unfortunately, I think on his third death in this dungeon, but does force a bomb. So good job on his part to make sure he's got bombs here.
Yep. Cleoc lurks along the river. Well, thank you. Another chance for arrows and no arrows from Fury.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. Again, like I was saying earlier, seeing all the Pole's voice in the dungeon, while you don't have the bow yet, it's one of those things where if you can find arrows, it's good to have just in case.
This is a great find from Fury. We found level 1 over here in the southwest. So this could be huge. I mean, there's a couple good items here. There's progression, but we're dropping a bomb because we have no keys. It's the worst decision possible that you have to make.
And 5 keys at that you'd have to burn. Like, that's absurd.
I mean, it's an easy decision at this point, but God, that's terrible.
Oh, man. And again, Dark Nuts, so the wand, the MVP.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's some keys. All right, JSR picks up the level 3 Triforce, so 4 of the 8 done now, but none of the important items. We don't have a ladder from bow, no silver arrows. So he's kind of starting to scratch his head a little bit and say, okay, what's this seed telling me?
And Fury's skipping quite a few rooms here with Dark Nuts. Not a bad choice either with the low life. The wand will make it easier, but may have to backtrack to find either the Triforce or the floor item.
Yep. And the rare double blue cheaper than red. That's nice.
The early potion pickup actually could pay off with, again, we were talking about low life. We haven't seen Wizrobes yet, so with the configurations that we've seen thus far, we've seen, large groups of Pole's Voice, large groups of likes and Dark Nuts. It's very likely that there's solid groups of blue and red Wizrobes as well.
Absolutely. And it tells me 9's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, depending on what you get rolled.
Oh, we already know. We already know. There's a chance to fill up some bombs. Oh, never mind. 7 is the cap. That's right.
Yeah, poor guy. He does get a 6-heart container, though.
That's good.
And JSR picked up one, I think it was actually from the vanilla spot. I could be wrong, but I think it was the vanilla heart location on the coast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right.
And a blue rupee.
Still looking for items in 1 here. We're going to have to clear some rooms because there's a floor drop we're missing. Fury. Probably some Dark Nuts he didn't want to challenge early, but we're probably going to have to.
Yeah, he could go right as well. We'll see what's over here. A whole lot of... Well, the map.
The map is good. Yeah. Well, that's a pretty big one. It's bigger than usual.
Looks like an Ithorian from Star Wars.
Nice. Yeah, this is probably one of those rooms you want to clear because it's either going to give you a key or a bomb drop or something like that. Maybe the actual floor drop there.
He's got one more room here he can go right in, and I think he's going to check that. He obviously has the staircase left.
Right.
How interesting would it be, and this is a possibility, in level 1 that you get the level 9 staircase, and it has the item in the upper corner.
That's exactly right. That'd be insane.
But at this point, we know he has to clear a Dark Nut room, because he's pretty much gone everywhere. Oh...
Yeah, this is fun, huh? I mean, you can clip into the left side of the sea and fight it, but man, that's rough. Let's use some bombs. If you get hit once, though, these bombs they're gone. This is gonna be a tough one. Fight them from below and cross your fingers.
Well, he's getting some good luck here.
Yeah, Juan's gonna help out a lot. Yeah, that's where he wants to fight them, from below the blocks and in a completely different plane than where they are. That's a rough death to take.
I missed the hints as well. They must have been on JSR's side.
Yeah, JSR had one hint. It was, I think the power bracelet in 3 was the only one that he saw, which we already knew. So
nice. Ladder required for raft and recorder required for red candle.
Thanks, LG.
So interesting, you know, I always love the playa melodies because,
Yeah.
you know, we haven't seen Dungeon 2 yet, right? So it's one of those things always where I think, well, if it's in Dungeon 2, the chance of it being a block is very rare because there's one boss and it's a floor drop.
Right.
I always think the lake at 7. I never default to, well, there's a dig dogger at the staircase.
Yep, that's my thinking too. I'm always thinking in my head, okay, it's 7. It's definitely vanilla 7.
Which is just adding to the list of things required. I always love that. We had a seed the other day that was raft recorder, power bracelet, and bow required.
Oh my gosh.
It was fantastic. You know, they're so fun and challenging to route. And you gotta wonder, man, it's just tough. He hasn't cleared this blue room or the other blue room, and those are most likely the 2 item room. Well, obviously the one is the item room, but
yeah, this is definitely rough for sure. He knows what he's getting ready to go into. It's so hard to come into this room with 2 hearts because you know it's just one hit. You got to fight it from below, and you got to just, as soon as that dark net goes north, just get underneath of them and go to town.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big advocate here of clipping into the top row of blocks and just going to town because I don't know how else to do it without usually taking lots of damage.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you can use the wand's hitbox to kind of give yourself a little safety when you're playing in the middle, but if you're going to play in the middle 3 rows, it's best to be on the bottom one, just because the wand's hitbox can hit the ones on the top as you're swinging left and right as well. So,
yeah, my problem I always have is that I'll swing the wand and I'll knock them back, but it'll knock them back to where I'm walking, and they'll turn towards me, and you know, at the end of the day, you're dead.
Yep, that's exactly right. Yeah, the wand does some weird damage sometimes. There's that 3rd heart, which is huge right now.
And he's got a good pattern, so he's down to 2. And JSR, I think he picked up arrows, maybe? Or did he pass? I think he passed.
I didn't see him actually looking at the combat in Fury, sorry. We'll see next time he pauses, yeah. So good combat from Fury here. You're seeing, I mean, no hearts lost. It took a while, but that's one room you do not want to have to go back. Quite a ways from start again. You don't want to have to go walk back there. So the time he took to clear that one. Oh! And the ladder, it's a huge find. Great job by Fury here.
Very nice. This could be a big turning point as JSR is not going that direction right now.
No, not at all.
If there ends up being a ladder block dungeon that he dives a bit, that it's a lot of time lost. That's I think where a lot of racers end up losing races that they feel they're, you know, pretty confident on is, you know, you go into a dungeon, you're feeling good, and then there's a ladder block at the Triforce or something, and it's brutal.
Yeah, it's disheartening for sure. You see that, and you're like, oh my gosh. So Fury's now going to look for just the floor drop item here, so he's going to have to keep clearing rooms. I mean, we found the easy one to find. The harder one is the floor drop. We know where the Triforce is, so hopefully the top here has just some easier combat for him.
Boy, let's hope that this portion of Death Mountain doesn't actually contain anything, because that is a nasty screen.
Yeah, that's terrible. You can't scroll that screen. It's brutal.
Yeah, your best hope is to wait for them to wander over and bomb them down.
Yep.
All right, so let's see if he finds the floor item. Oh, no!
Oh, it's the wooden boomerang. But you know what? You got the knowledge there. Finding 2 items is always a good thing, no matter what the 2 items are. Just being able to leave the level and be able to check a couple things off your list, it helps you in other levels.
Yeah, and that actually, as much as people dog on the boomerang, there is a lot of places now, especially with Lionels within dungeons, right?
Yeah.
The boomerang actually has a much larger value to it than it used to, as if you get those shuffled in, because you know, it's so hard to get up and combat them in a big room where they're just constantly spamming. That's why I like Wizrobes. Wizrobes, they don't shoot at you unless you're facing them, or they're looking at you. Lionels, just they don't care.
They don't care at all.
It's like World War II or Vietnam. Let's just spray and pray everywhere and hope that you can get through.
Man, that's an unfortunate death for Fury. You're exactly right. Nice. There's a lot of function and utility to the boomerang as well too in the overworld. Just as you're walking, being able to freeze enemies and get past things. So right there where you saw, if he can't screen scroll through those blue Lionels, if you sit at that ladder and you just boomerang north, you can freeze them all in one place, walk through them, and get through. So there's some function to the boomerang that, like you said, people knock on it all the time, but you can actually use it for some good in the overworld.
Yeah, or just in dungeons in general. Especially with kind of jumping ahead a little bit. The next round with the HP shuffle, boomerang can kill things with no HP, and things that don't normally die to a boomerang can die to a boomerang. So
it absolutely can. You're spot on with that. Yep, for sure.
And life or money room right there in 8, as we see JSR. He found this. It looks like up on Death Mountain.
Yeah, this will be interesting because there's 2 items in here.
Ooh.
It's level 8. Oh wow, that's a level 8.
Well, that means look at level 7.
Yeah, level 7 is going to be the exact inverse of this, which is crazy.
Man. That's a big 7 too.
Digging bombs. Yeah, 7 and 8 fit together just like they do in the vanilla game.
I'm sorry, level 8's actually the fairy push block, so PB required.
Yeah, Power Bracelet is required, so they both have it. It's just checking those locations when you route those in.
And he's just going to say, no thank you, and go elsewhere, which I don't blame him.
Yeah, he's really looking for 1 and 2 right now. He needs some items. Having just the Power Bracelet's tough.
Interesting thing, I don't think we ever saw the old man in 1, and the only room left was the room above the Triforce.
Yeah, that hint for 2 would have been nice.
Yeah, just kind of like a note to anybody playing this or getting into it with helpful hints on the old men, while they can be shuffled to like a bomb upgrade or a life or money room for sure. Actually, never mind. It was the life or money room in 1, so there would have been no hint.
Yeah, it would have taken the place of the hint. You're right.
But the point still stands. If you've only got a couple of rooms and it's right by your Triforce, it's worth checking, because if you know where to go right to level 2, you can save yourself a whole bunch of time.
Yep. The reason that you see some people finish 5-10 minutes faster than others that are equal skill levels because they've routed correctly or they've read the hints correctly through the seed and be able to play that seed and how that one went. And reading those hints are so powerful when we've got helpful hints on. You've got to take advantage of them.
And important to note, both were required. So 6 bomb maximum right now or 7 for JSR, but it will be 6 once they get through level 1.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That hurts a lot, actually. 2 bombs is significant.
Yeah, so you can
he could have bombed. That's a good point. Oh man. Why?
We'll rag him about it later.
Good point, Loud Goat. Very good point.
I was watching Fury again.
Oh, that's terrible.
Guarantee he already knows it. He knows it right now. It's one of those things you just do instinctively, and then oh crap.
Yeah, there is no boomstick in this particular set of flags, and I don't believe there will be at all. That Goma, that gives you worries. It always worries me when there's a Goma.
Me too. Your heart kind of sinks and goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna clear this entire dungeon, and that's my Triforce."
Because you have to have 5 keys, Quostin. So without 5 keys, you can't actually do that, and keys are an incredibly valuable resource early on and throughout the entire game. And keys are extremely expensive as well.
Yeah, this seed we've seen for sure play out that way too. I mean, they've been sitting and juggling 1 and 3 keys almost the entire time. Fury at 4 right now is kind of a luxury. So JSR just found he found where the Triforce is, and we have no idea what the items are yet.
What's he gonna do?
Guarantee he goes south. I'll bet money.
Into key doors.
Into key doors. Are you kidding me?
Game,
oh,
please.
Seed.
Oh no! I don't think
he meant a wand. I'm with you. I think that was supposed to be a wand and not the potion there.
He does that on accident a lot because he forgets that he has the potion.
Right.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's tough. I mean, it's only $30 and he's got 216, but it's just one more trip you have to make.
Yeah, I agree with digging items here. At best, though, we know it's the bow or maybe silver arrows. Red ring, magic key, there are good things, but yeah. I'm sure he's looking for that ladder, and he gets the hint for 1. So
I was going to say that's pretty big time, absolutely. I mean, he might have been factoring that in too. 1, I need 2 items, and the other thing is the hint for 1, which I have not found, is here somewhere. So if he was thinking about that was a good thought.
Luckily, that wasn't the hint that was removed by the life or money.
Speaking of, it's huge. Yeah, good call there.
And it turns him red. How disappointing.
I got to change my sprite because I started as Red Link because I was Redbird grad, of course, and everybody was asking, does he have the red ring already? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I need to not do that.
Yeah, I play with
That's
orange,
good.
and it looks very close, and I get the same problem.
To throw everybody off there. So I will change that next time, guys. I apologize.
Just play pink. It's close enough.
Yeah, pretty much. I played like, yeah.
Fury takes a death on that same nasty screen.
Is he bowing out of here? I think he's bowing out.
That's tough. I mean, it's yeah.
He's gone.
But knowing the location of one, well,
that's tough, man. Which way do I do?
I mean, at this point, you've got what, 10 rooms left?
I would do it. You have the map. You've got the compass. I mean, if of anything you want to dig something you already have the map, so bomb holes are less worrisome. And here you go. You're rewarded right here with hopefully. No, it is a staircase. You still got to take it.
For sure.
That right side might be locked to you. There's a key. It's worth it already.
Yeah, I mean, some of these rooms are. I mean, this isn't a hard enemy set either. It's worth clearing just for the keys, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I say that, and he runs into 5 blue dark gods, but you know, there are easy rooms. Let's put it that way. And
these are not the easy rooms we're looking for.
But he's got red rings, so who cares?
Yeah, this is tank mode. This is just rock. Yeah, they're going to give you a heart or two at least on average. Just get in the middle and go.
Fluffy Mittens, actually in shapes you don't really know. Outside of, there's a few cases.
Oh, no.
Oh God.
That's the
Game,
worst.
please.
Candy bomb
Hopefully
right.
Bomb out.
Oh,
saved. There are, to finish Fluffy Mittens' question, there are some rooms that cannot have a drop in certain dungeons because every dungeon has 4 drop locations that are programmed into the code. So the 2 examples that I always use are the 2x5 room, looks like a 5 on a dice, that you find in vanilla level 1. It's not going to have a drop, I believe, in any dungeon other than level 1. I've never seen one, but majority of the dungeons it won't have a drop. And then the other one is the maze room you find in vanilla level 4. In the earlier dungeons, it's never going to have a drop either.
So Fury's jumping into 6. Fury loaded up on bombs here in the overworld and then came back into 6. So this is going to be probably a pretty quick dungeon with as equipped as Fury is. So JSR got the Triforce quick and bounced.
How much regret do you think he's going to have digging this item in 8 now?
None. I mean, you pretty much have to. You're at the point in the seed to where you're needing the big 3 items still. You've got to dig, and whatever result you get, you kind of have to. I don't think there's any regret here at all.
Yeah, he's got 1 final room left. It'd be heartbreaking if it's
Boomerang or something.
Boomerang or book.
Yeah.
Fury a little bit frozen here. I wonder if he's going to take this Triforce and head on out as well, if he'll dig.
Probably some frame rate issues here.
Zardia, that's a tough call. I don't think so. I think it's pretty even at this point. JSR is going to get his 5th. He does have a red ring. And depending on what item is here, could make a difference.
Yeah, I don't think we can call anybody with an advantage until we find a bow or silvers.
He's not going to check that last room.
All right, so the 5th Triforce here for JSR, he's got 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Just needs 1, 2, and 5, but we still need a couple important items here.
Yeah, and we still do not know the location of level 2 either. So, with that in mind, we had the hint that there was an item underneath a flute block. So I'm betting that level 2 is under the lake by level 1.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're exactly right with that. JSR with that hint should be making a beeline over there to the Lost Woods or Dead Woods.
Yeah, for sure. But again, routing.
He's routing through for sure. Yeah, might grab that meat at 255, but.
And yeah, and I mean, so we're thinking about that, right? The only, we got 6 and 5. They've been into all these dungeons and just haven't picked up items. If a recorder's required, that's just one of those things where, again, it's a turning point. Who finds that item first really makes a huge difference, because if, the first dungeon that JSR dives is the recorder, all of a sudden Fury's way behind and vice versa.
Yep, exactly. That's what I'd say. We can't really tell you who's in the lead yet because we don't know. I think it can go either way right now.
And Fury, as noted, is going back into 6 and does have the ladder, so he can progress through this dungeon.
Yeah, this might be a good dig for Fury. This could really pay off if one of the trifectas in here.
Or the recorder, and he doesn't even know it. The problem is, when's he going to go back over there? He's already burned the Dead Woods. That's probably going to be one of the last locations that he actually checks, unfortunately. But
well, the cool thing is about the recorder is that he has a Triforce in 1, so he can blow over there.
The real question is, if this is an item, will we see what it is?
Due to the frame rate, he might grab it, and we have no idea.
Blackout!
We're still clueless.
I do enjoy how the color of the dungeon actually makes the Bull's voice camouflage in whenever they're hit. That's pretty awesome.
That's exactly.
And it's not.
Oh man, it doesn't.
He's got 6 keys though. Like, keys are finally not that big of an issue. And here's another option for that room. He's not going to clear it though.
Yeah, that's one you probably want to clear. The combat wasn't too bad. Oh, and a bomb upgrade, which is great because he dropped bombs earlier. So.
And JSR got drop it down to 6.
Doing the same. So JSR's not going to find that bomb upgrade in 6 unless he has to go back. Yeah,
and that's a 4 upgrade because he did have the -1. So right. Pretty good upgrade for the price. Just a little bit over the normal. I'm actually curious. Fury skipped another double block room that he hadn't been into before, right below that bomb upgrade. But we do have a diamond, so maybe that will contain our item.
He did the same thing that I do. Even if I've got the Triforce, I always grab that compass. It's the book in 6.
Well, it's knowledge, at least. So at this point, what would you be doing? You've got to find 8. And then you still know where level 5 is, which they bailed out of really early and actually didn't do any exploration in it whatsoever.
Right now, if this is me, I'm so worried that I don't have bow or silvers right now. I'm trying to find 2 as much as possible, knowing the knowledge that he has right now. So I'm pretty much going to stay in the overworld until I find 2.
Yeah, and he hasn't done Death Mountain yet either.
Mm-hmm. You check your power bracelet spots, you got that. You don't have the raft because it's ladder block, so maybe you go get the raft and play that advantage because you got the ladder and your opponent might not. So one of the big things I do is if I have an advantage or a perceived advantage on my side, I'll play it up. So if I get the ladder early, I'll go check the ladder spot. If I get a power bracelet early, I'll go check the power bracelet spot. So I'll try to play the advantage and do things that I think my opponents can't do and hopefully be able to beat them out time-wise that way.
Yeah, it's not a bad plan. JSR is going to find himself a ladder as well here. This room, while trolling him just a little bit, is much easier because he's got the red ring, so he doesn't need to worry about the damage at all.
Right. Yeah, it's a huge difference in going through this level right now after having the red ring. There's his ladder. So that advantage is now gone for Fury. So there wasn't really any ladder block dungeons that Fury's able to take advantage of. So that's kind of a bummer for him. Right now, he just has to hope that the digging that he's done elsewhere, like in 6 and stuff like that, and JSR goes back into 6 at some point and wastes some time there.
Yeah, I think unfortunately for Fury, though, 5 will be the first place that JSR digs, just because he hasn't been there. So again, it was an interesting choice to check 6. Fortunately, it wasn't super far in the dungeon, so it was only a couple of minutes that he used. But nonetheless, I don't know that JSR will go back to 6 until after he's done 5 and probably 4, too. I mean, 4 in comparison is usually much easier to deal with.
Yeah, he'll do them in reverse order for sure, and do them is what you should be clearing them as quick as possible. So the smaller ones first. I agree with you there.
All the keys
he's
and 9 hearts.
Mm-hmm. What a weird scene. This one's been very odd.
Yeah, I think the level 2 is still going to be the decider.
Yeah, whoever finds that first. Recorder first is going to be, like you said, the decider of this.
I'm trying to think that the hint for the item in there wasn't anything significant either. I don't remember what it was, but I know it wasn't a super important item.
Alright, so there's Triforce. Yeah, that other item was the floor drop item was the boomerang. Wooden boomerang.
Yeah, level 2. I don't remember.
Oh, 2s. Yeah, I don't remember either.
Well, the assumed level 2, I guess I should say.
So JSR's going back into 1.
There can be only one. Oh, it's play a melody to obtain the silver arrow.
Okay.
I must have missed the fact that it was silver arrow. Oh, Gleok returns with the bow!
So the bow
Oh
is
my
an 8.
god! And JSR dogged out with 1 room left.
Yeah, he took off with 1 room left. He's got the red ring out there already. So that's going to be one ones he digs because there's not 2 items, there's just 1. So that is huge information for Fury right now.
And he just got the red ring hit that says it's behind a push block. That is huge.
Yep. And that's why that overworld exploration right now, if you don't have 2, you don't know where it is, you want to be in the overworld trying to find this stuff out, because if you're in dungeons like this, sometimes you're taking a little time that you don't need to be taking.
Wow. That is huge.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge. You're right. That's big time.
Because he's going to beeline right for it. He knows it has to be 8.
Right.
Just from the hints. Well, I say that. He doesn't know that it has to be. When he hits there, though, silver arrow and red ring in the same dungeon. Like, I guess 8 is the new 9. I'm pretty awesome.
All right, so Fury's in 5.
Is he going to do this? Or is he going to go... I mean... So, for me, personally...
You know the items. I mean, if you feel your combat's good enough, you know the items neither two besides defensively are going to help you. I mean, maybe Goma, but you don't have the bow, so you might as well dig 5.
Yeah. I guess if I'm me, though, I go to the dungeon that I know is going to have the red ring because it's going to give me the advantage going through the other dungeons, but... Wow. What a find, though. That's big.
Yeah, that's big.
JSR's in here also.
Yeah, and Chet's right. With the timers, we got a timer at 43:20 on Fury and 46 on JSR. I don't know if we need to resync those two or what we need to do there if we're a couple minutes behind.
I think it has a little bit to do with the lag that he had. I'm not sure.
Yeah, if we can get a refresh or not.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what happens and where he's at.
Yeah, because he could be an 8 right now. For all we know, he's where we thought he was going. All right, so virtual high 5 here in level 5 between JSR and Fury.
So our options for the recorder are 4, 7, or 5. We think, assuming that 2 is under the block. But I mean, at this point, it's almost just a raft location, right? Because I think JSR has cleared Death Mountain.
He's cleared almost the whole overworld, as far as I know. Step over the water, reach the magic key. Okay, so magic key is ladder blocked.
5?
Yeah, that 5 would be what I would think too. And if he wants it,
oh, the clutch clock.
I think he's digging it. This could be your magic key for sure.
That's the staircase that.
Oh, that's the one he came out of. Yeah.
This could be the magic.
This could be it.
Oh my god, 8 legs. It's just brutal.
I mean, you called it earlier, so it's your fault.
I know, right? I did roll this.
This is all you, sir.
At least you got the wand. Makes this much easier to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's your magic key, right?
Maybe. Okay. Oh, it's the recorder.
It's the recorder. Okay.
Wow, that's huge.
If Fury just takes off with the Triforce.
Man, at this point, I don't know that you can. You now know that
you can't either, but I mean, that's the only decision that JSR is kind of hoping for, because I think Fury has an advantage right now.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think 8's the last dungeon. I say that. With 1 room left, maybe you go back. But if he thinks that it's Goma blocked, you're not going to go back there looking for a bow.
No, that 1 room was like a 3 or 4 minute dig to get back there. I mean, it was way back in the back.
Sure. That's rough.
Yeah, it is. Tough decision point.
Question is, will Fury take a death or not? Because that can really give JSR a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, time-wise, for sure. I mean, when I'm looking at it, if I'm going back to redig, I'm looking at my tracker, the first dungeon that I don't have anything on first, so 8 is last in that list.
He's gonna check magic.
Yeah. No.
Nope.
Not with 10 arts.
Sad face.
Yeah, JSR is not. Yeah, there's some overworld that he has not checked because Chester's right.
There it is.
He's not found the hints.
Now the question is, we have a refresh. We are now a few minutes in the future. Does Fury have the recorder? That's the question we really need to know.
So JSR just went back to 8 and left.
All right, and Fury makes the correct decision.
So he recorded to 8, took off from there.
Okay, and no recorder for Fury, so this is important.
Yeah, this next spot right here for JSR, if he burns the bush, he'll be able to buy the hints. He's got the money for him. He's either going to beeline it to 8, which is most likely, or he's going to go check that recorder location first for 2. And then do that last. I bet he goes to 8 just because he's right here.
Yeah, I probably would go to 8 first.
Fury's got to use this knowledge advantage right now if he wants to take this one.
Yeah, this is tough. I don't. Fury's got to be, but the problem again is the recorder. If the recorder is required, that really puts Fury at a disadvantage because he was close to the item and left. So
yeah,
it's a tough deal. But he's not going to go back to 8 yet. We know that he can up an A and get right by there, and he can just recorder as well.
Goma, please. Boss rush, part of 8. JSR is now using the whistle, probably going right back to 8. Yep, going to 8 and going to go dig those out.
It depends that if it's required or not, and the reason why that is that if 2 is in fact somewhere else, like a raft location, and it just so happens that maybe the silver arrows are in 4 behind a dig dogger and diamond staircase, they're not actually required to have the recorder if you can clip.
Right. Yeah, that hint just means that there's a dig dogger present. Is it going to guard a single block room like this, or is it going to guard a diamond staircase that you can block clip through and it's not really required? The hint does not take into account whether or not you can do that clip, so it's important to know that distinction.
Or it could be the lake at 7.
Or the lake at 7, exactly.
Or, I mean, it also, an interesting case that we had before, unless Fred's changed it, and I don't know that he has, hints actually go by first come, first serve logic. There was actually one that said, play a melody to obtain the silver arrow, and I was able to circumvent the dig dogger by going around with the ladder. So there is the possibility of that happening as well. I don't think that's the case, but...
Oh, Fury grabs a Triforce out of 8.
I think he wants the health refill.
Yeah, go back through it. But yeah, you're right. So that hint, because that block was first, that's why that hint triggered. There was a second block that was able to allow you to circumvent that. So like you said, you're able to get around it, and the hint proved to not be true, but it was according to the logic because that was the order it found it in. Or the logic found it in.
The cool things you find out about the randomizer is you play thousands of seeds.
That's right. And you're like, what in the...
Oh man, this was an easy room too. That's unfortunate. What a time loss.
Yeah,
that was super easy to get to.
For sure, yeah.
I think he's okay though. I honestly feel at this point that that JSR is probably well within the lead, and it's pretty much his to lose.
Yeah, we can probably make that call now. Just needing 2, and he has all the items he needs, most likely, to get through here. We know silvers are behind that block in 2. Just checking this recorder spot right now.
Well, there were 2 play a melody hints, weren't there? I don't remember the first one, and it was a different item. Because I'm pretty sure the other hint cave had a play a melody hint as well.
Oh, did it?
Which makes this
4,
interesting.
Yeah, it could be in 4 still. Or 7.
But okay, well, at least I called the 2. I'm happy.
Yeah, 2 is right. Yeah, you always have to make that assumption. Oh, that's nice. You know, to get the compass right away. It's probably segmented 2.
And whiz robes.
They got their whiz robes, but again, those orange ones are just a blessing because they give you bombs.
Yeah, and I mean, you can, there's a nice little trick if you guys, haven't discovered it or, things like that. When you walk through a door and there's orange whiz robes, if you stop putting in inputs as you walk through the door, most of the time they're actually going to line up right in front of the door for you, so you can just walk in, sidestep, and drop a bomb, and generally take out the entire room.
Yep, that's exactly right. Now it's like, JSR, get out of your wand. Sometimes you forget you have the wand as you're playing through the seed. Yeah, this is not segmented. Wow.
Nice.
That's a large 2.
Indeed.
Fury finds the bow. Fury found the bow way faster than JSR. Time-wise, that was an advantage for Fury, but we'll see.
So
needs that recorder still.
Here's that tough decision that you have to make if you're one of the top runners that wants later on, right? When you're playing these really heavy Titans, you know the red ring's an 8, but do you take the time to find it?
No, there's no way right now. If you're looking at the clock approaching an hour, you don't get anything you don't need.
It's a tough call, especially when you think about, again, we had that discussion where now 2 is showing us exactly that. It's full Wizrobe rooms. There's full blue Wizrobe rooms, which you could be dealing with that. Oh, there it is. Red candle.
Yeah, red candle's there.
So
he's got to go back to 4 now, most
or
likely.
7.
4, I'd go to 4.
Oh, absolutely. But it's one of the, again, we're going back to where 9 could be all Wizrobes, and you've only got a wood sword. How valuable is that red ring when you can end up in a spiral staircase or something with blue Wizrobes all around you? You know, it's a very tough call.
Yeah, I think it's person to person. It's like, how much do you trust your combat? There could be some very hard, if you're comfortable with the Wizrobes and that type of combat, and that's what you're anticipating in. You go, but Fury grabbed the red ring. He's on you, and I probably would do the same. I mean, if I have the map in 8, it's easy to dig. You might be able to grab that too. JSR finally completes a Triforce. We're good to go here.
Yeah, I mean, again, if Fury had taken the time to dig that out of 5.
Yeah, that 5, not digging that is might be very costly here.
It depends on 9 also. We've seen crazy things happen in level 9.
I had about a 30-minute level 9 earlier today, so I completely understand.
Like, what, 3 days ago we had the one where it took
that was brutal.
35 to an hour to beat level 9 because of the bomb wall, so...
You never know.
Quostin actually is right next to level 9, so I'm sure that he'll check it again with 11 hearts. He's only going to have a 25% chance. He did check it at 10. But with it being right next door and with the assumption that it's Wizrobes, I would for sure be checking that.
He will. No doubt he will, for sure. To go from wood to magical, yeah, if he's got white sword or whatever and it's way out of the way, maybe not, but one screen, you're going to check that all day.
JSR was hoping.
Yeah, he was.
I bet you this is because, technically speaking, you need to have the recorder to get past that block.
Right. Yeah, this is... I'm 99% sure this is it. And he probably knew it as soon as he saw it.
Gosh. And this is the room that they both noped out of earlier because they didn't have the wand or the resources to deal with it. That hurts.
Yeah, it does hurt. Silvers were in this room, and they're both going to be kicking themselves because... Nope. Oh, this wasn't it. Okay. That's good. It's
this one.
Yeah. So below the room they both noped out of.
Nope, never mind.
Nope, never mind. Below that room, though.
Oh, man, the game's going hard now.
Yeah. Well, we meant to say...
What we meant to say is we think it's in level 4, and now he's got 12
there's
hearts.
Max, for sure. Not for sure, but...
I rolled the seed. I don't know.
Yeah, we're almost 50%, right?
It might be 15 hearts.
Very well could be.
Oh, man, he's having to burn. He's got some keys, fortunately, but he's having to use a lot of keys also.
This will be the room that leads to the room.
There they are.
There they are. We found our silvers.
Yeah, so at this point, it is JSR's game to lose for sure. Man, that 4, look at that. That was nasty.
Yeah, that's brutal for sure. All right, so Fury's on a wild goose chase right now for the recorder to be able to open up 2 and then go find the silvers again after you open up 2 and find the red candle. So Fury's got a little legwork ahead of him right now. So JSR needs to play this in 9 and play this advantage and just go.
He's going to go buy some bombs first, which, again, that's another major point. 6 is his maximum bomb count. That could make a difference.
Yep, because Fury found a bomb upgrade that JSR was not able So JSR is going to really have to count to 10 here and use that force bomb strategy to keep his bomb count high in 9. So 9 doesn't troll him. No, it's not. This is your fault, Agent.
Totally my fault.
Come on, man.
Well, the other important thing is I don't think Fury's been to Death Mountain, so he has not seen the other play a melody hint.
Yeah. JSR, wood sword, sir. Have fun.
3 hearts wood sword.
I mean, it's better than Master Sword Ganon in Z3, but
that's true.
Still.
Okay, well they got lucky.
Yeah, this is the set you want to see if you're wood sword and at least have red ring.
Yeah, not Wizrobes. This will be very easy to navigate.
Yep. $76. You got plenty of silver arrow ammo. Should be good to go here.
Oh man! So early.
Bomb hole percent. Here we go.
Ganon, please. You got to be better at this, man. And a map.
Well, there's a map. That'll be nice to tell him where not to bomb. Doesn't tell him where to bomb. Tells him where not to.
It's got to be to the left here. There's no other options because it was that that one with the empty hole beside the 9 column.
Right.
So easy Ganon fine. Only has 1.5 hearts. But I think JSR's got it. 2.5. Easy game.
That accidental potion is going to come back and haunt him right here.
Well, luckily Ganon's close. I still
Just
think
15 hits. Just 15 hits, man. You got this.
He's got red ring. It's an easy game.
Well, he's got him in the lock right now on the bottom.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's trying to get to the left.
I said it. Why did I say anything?
Commentator's curse. Dude.
High rule driver times 2. That's a nasty pattern is what that was. He was off-centered.
Well, he had him in the bottom right lock to where if you're at the bottom and he side, you'll get 2 fireballs, and as long as you dodge them down, he's coming back to the right side. So you can swing in the middle, then swing back right, and you can keep them locked in that pattern. But JSR is trying to get to the left because it's an easier lock sometimes for people. You're just used to it from the vanilla game. And that was the problem is he got Hyrule Driver trying to get him back on the left side.
Yeah.
So had he stayed on the right, I think he had that fight.
Yeah, it's this is one of those things where it's important to know how to fight Ganon and to deal with his patterns. But
we're seeing a little bit of a stun lock.
I think he's got this though.
Yeah. I just think he's more comfortable on that left side, so he's trying to get back to the left. Just from watching him run the game. Yeah.
I can't say I blame him.
No, most people are more comfortable this way.
A lot of times the right-hand side though can be a bit wonky too. Like it just seems to be much more consistent on the left side, and he does take him down.
Yep.
So now we'll see if it takes 45 minutes to find the girl.
Bomb hole percent, sir. Bomb hole percent.
5 keys, that's plenty.
Should be right here. Just all we're doing is looking for his shutter. Well, that's nice. He can bomb a couple places here. Don't bomb left because we know, dude. We know. You've got a map. I knew he was going to do it. I called it.
I know.
I knew he was doing it.
It's just one of those things. You're like, well, I'm going to get free bombs anyways. Let's just see if...
You see him walking and you're like, we'll take that. There's white 9.
He's like, nah, never mind. I got arrows. Who needs them? Like, I already killed the pig.
That's right. Fury, in the meantime, is back in Death Mountain area. Doing some exploring, maybe looking for 2.
Well, actually, I don't know. He's got to up an A. It's got to be right there, right?
It's like I just need.
Wow.
Is this going to be Magic Staircase, or is there one on the right I did not see? Okay, we've got a door this way.
Yeah, good game.
Yeah,
wow.
GG's, JSR.
He didn't clear that room either, but man, what a compass
No,
find. He'd have been all over the place.
He thought about it too. He stood there, and those guys drop bombs, so that makes you want to clear it anyway with your silvers.
Good game.
GG, JSR.
She even had a key. Just pry open the door.
Come on, yeah, right?
103.18, the final time for JSR. Pretty good, all things considered.
It's a good time when you're hunting for a couple items. That was really good. Very well done.
Hints, clearly, I would say the MVP there. I don't know that JSR would have gone back to 8 without that hint. So that was a big turning point overall in the seed, I think.
Yeah, what's weird is that it was a double-edged turning point, right? Because we had Fury go get that hint right away, and then to see JSR get it late and know to go back into 8, I mean, that was big time. I think we got a JSR joining us, sir. GG's.
Thanks, guys. How's it going?
Pretty good. Congratulations, man.
First off, can I just get a massive fail fish for that Money or Life room in 8? I mean,
yes,
we called it
so
too.
Good.
Dude, I don't know why I thought that was a shutter, and so I left to get bombs because I wanted to be able to force bombs. And when I walked in there, I didn't even look at the wall. I just went right for the bomb, and as soon as I got it, oh my
God. Don't explain yourself. I mean, that's how you roll, man. Like,
fortunately,
exactly.
That wasn't a big deal because 9 was ridiculously easy.
Yeah, that's one of the easiest 9s I've ever seen in these flag sets. I mean, if you take the right path, what was that, like 7 or 8 rooms?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it wasn't many at all. You never got off course, which was nice.
What
did you think?
I got lucky. I kept finding early Triforces, so I was like, I can't risk digging these levels. I knew there were hint shops out there. There was tons of secrets early. So my entire strategy was, all right, I'm just going to find the hints and hope it drops something about the silvers and the bow. And it gave me a direct hint for the bow. So I was hyped about that. But when it said step over the water, I was like, I don't think that correlates to level 4 being in the waterfall, does it? Does that count?
Well, it said Leok returns with the bow.
And then it said step over the water for the silver arrow, correct?
Play a melody.
Play a melody for the silver.
You actually had 2 play a melodies. You had play a melody for the red candle and play a melody for the silver arrows. Interesting.
I must have had a warp with a dig dogger that I got past or something then, because I got lucky.
Well, you had in level 4, the staircase that took you to the top section actually was guarded by a dig dogger.
That makes sense then.
Yeah, there was a diamond dig dogger there that you were able to clip through.
Okay, that makes sense then, because I was my memory was telling me it was a step over the water hint, and I actually wasn't even sure. I almost went back and bought the hint again. Mm-hmm. Or I just said, okay, 4 is the smallest of the levels I didn't dig. Let's just go there.
Right. I tell you what, as we were calling it, a bit of trouble, to be honest, in the middle of the seed, because you had a couple Triforces on Fury. Fury had some information. Fury found that hint that led you back into level 8 before you did. And so having the knowledge of where the bow was, we weren't sure if you were going back into 8 if you didn't find those hints, because it was just one room you didn't clear. So we were a little worried for you in that aspect, that he had that information that you didn't.
I was a little worried, to be honest. I was feeling some pressure right around when I found hint shop that told me where the bow was. That was like a huge relief to find that, because I was pressing a little bit that I was gonna end up having to dig level 7 or something like that, and I was very fortunate that there was a hint for the bow. I very, very fortunate.
Yeah, the thing that's trolled Fury a little bit right now in this seed, though, is that the recorder in 5, Fury left 5 before grabbing that, so Fury won't be able to find level 2 until, as you know, going back there. But Fury's in 4 right now, trying to dig items.
Yeah, he's gonna get the silvers here actually.
Yeah.
Which is nice, but yeah, again, he's gonna like seeing that, but he's not gonna like the fact that he hasn't found the recorder.
Still hasn't found 2 because exactly.
Yeah.
That was another thing I got kind of lucky on. Was I think it was like my first or my second dungeon I found, and I was key blocked, which is the reason I didn't dig it. And seeds, I'm not going to dig a dungeon unless I feel like I'm equipped to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And on the Triforce and Dip strat on level 5, which would have come back to bite me in the bum pretty hard later in the seed. So luckily I found that first. I went in, I was key blocked. Otherwise, who knows how this would have turned out.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you'd be in the same position Fury's in right now, as would just be searching for that recorder. Because he still hasn't found it. I think he knows now process elimination, it's got to be in 5. But that absolutely was a good dig. We were kind of wondering, as you got going, you got a couple Triforces early, you were in Triforce and Go mode a little bit, like not actually Go mode, but to where you weren't digging items because of being under leveled a little bit and finding bigger locations. We were wondering when you were going to stop doing that and actually grab items because you were just flying, man.
I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like, when am I going to end up going back to 4 or what was the other one? I did that too. I think it was 6 that I did
4,
that
6,
too.
and 7.
4, 6, and 7, all 3 of them.
And I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, if I don't find like level 1 soon or one of the easier levels as far as it being size-wise, then I'm going to have to go back to one of those dungeons. And when I found 3 and it gave me the power bracelet, I was like, okay, I need to. Then when I found 8, that was kind of like my cue. All right, I need to start digging stuff. It's like 30 minutes into the seed. I still don't have a bow. I still don't have a ladder. Bow was an 8, but just finding the red ring gave me more confidence to go back and just start trying to fly through those dungeons.
Right.
Well, yeah, and you got the hint out of 8 as well to tell you where 1 was, which was a pretty big thing because that netted you the ladder. So, you know, that's kind of where it started taking off for you, even though you died a few times early in level 3 as well, and a couple of times in 8. You picked up the pace really quick there after you got a couple of those hints and played it really well.
A little bit of a troll. There was a couple deaths. The one that made me the maddest. That made me the maddest was right in front of Vanilla 1. I was that's why I took it out on those Lionels when I came back later.
Right.
Yeah, the 4-heart wand was really nice though for you guys. You got it right after Fury did, and it's played a big part in at least being able to clear most of these dungeons quickly. I think level 2 was the only one that was solid Wizrobe, so that really made a difference as well. If that had been level 9 that way, that might have been a little bit more difficult.
9's definitely one of the softest 9s I've ever seen as far as the enemy set, how easy it was. Luckily, you'll get 1 quality item out of the 3 free items. You know, the white sword, the ladder, or the 1 at least. And the wand is about as quality as it gets at the beginning of a seed. Combat easy, and I lucked out with that one too, for sure.
Yeah, Fury actually had ladder and found level 10 minutes before. So he had an advantage there as well. There really wasn't too many ladder blocks that he could take advantage of that perceived advantage there.
Yeah, and Fury is opting to dig level 7, which is also Wizrobes. Unfortunately, he did check 6. It was actually, I think, 3 or 4 rooms up the right side. It was the book. So he did find that early as well. So he's narrowed down his options, but unfortunately chose the wrong of the 2 to find the recorder.
I'm guessing that the hint earlier was step over the water for the magic key, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. And I think that's in 7. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be in 7, but it might be in 7.
Yeah, there's some ladder blocks in 7. I think it's going to be in 7 here.
It's either got to be 7 or 9. I'm assuming 7, but
yeah,
which means the other item in 9 must have been the bloomerang.
I mean, as you were going north in 9, there was a ladder block, but we'll see here. I think it's going to be in 7.
Well, I mean, keys
were
a massive issue for you guys early, and then all of a sudden you just, got flooded with them, which was really nice. But early on, that really kind of dictated where you guys went, and you both took pretty much the same path. But yeah, I mean, once you started getting keys, your options really opened up.
Yeah, there's the any key. So Fury's obviously not happy with that any key, stabbing it furiously.
Well, I mean, he's at least got a key now.
True story, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been nice instead of giving up all my bombs.
Oh, man.
We're not going to let you live that down, dude. That's going to be for sure.
If there's not at least 7 clips of that already, then I'm going to be disappointed in our chat.
Chat was like, what the heck?
That'll be the highlight for the meme reel.
That was great.
That was awesome. I do not know why I did that. But, you make dumb decisions like that sometimes in a race when you're feeling that kind of pressure.
Well,
I fully expect that in the next update for Randomizer, there's going to be a new community hint that says, I bet you'd like your bomb back.
So JSR, let me ask you this. This is my first time in a tournament. And I know you guys, you and Agent are both, your seasoned pros here. But compared to the last flag set and the random percent, how do you feel these flags are? What do you like about them? What do you dislike about them? Or what are your thoughts on those?
Well, one thing I both liked and hated and I'm sure Agen will kind of disagree because I know he's the guy who makes Masochist Mondays happen and all that stuff. Was that there was no certainty about what your seed was going to be. So when you started, you didn't just have to find your levels and your sword, but you also had to figure out, is it a blackout seed? Is it sprite shuffle? Is it 0 HP or is it a million HP? Like what are we dealing with here?
Right.
Made it a little difficult to have any sort of strategy or route, which was kind of fun, to be honest. But at the same time, going into these flag sets, you have a very good idea of what you're going to run into. It allows you to kind of route a little easier for it. I mean, there's still no telling you what you're going to find as far as enemy sets and dungeons are going to have what and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, Randomizer, but it does kind of make it a little less about figuring that out and just going for it, just trying to find the items you need for go mode.
Sure. Yep. Yeah, I was wondering what the difference is. And Agen, do you agree or what do you?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I was never a fan of any percent, or not any percent, man, random percent. Because there's a lot of settings there I don't like. I really, really, truly enjoy HP shuffle. That's just my dig. I like it. It adds a lot of variety to the game, and I know there's a lot of people that don't like it. As far as these flags go, I actually like them better than the random percent. I do feel the early round is very easy, but that is because that's the way it's supposed to be. It's the Swiss round. Now, with that said, we've gotten some very difficult seeds just because of the way Wizrobes, can pop up. But I also feel that with the mixed groups, a lot of times, like the 9 that happened, you could get much easier seeds to deal with because you're not dealing with Wizrobes in 9 every single time, which is a lot of the way it was it's the way it was in the previous fall tournament. You always had Wizrobes in 9. So if you're going in and you don't have a red ring and you are Wood Sword, that's, grading on the back of your mind of, okay, well, I got to play a little bit more safe because I've got to be able to get through these rooms and not die, 20 rooms into a dungeon. So it's, I like these flags better. And I'm really hoping that I make it onto the bracket stage where it gets a little bit more difficult.
Gotcha.
I will say that it is a little, too easy, but it is, it'll be better when we get to the next round if I make it that far, of course. Don't get six helpful hints. I think at the next round it goes to how the old chaos flags were, where it's hints and 3 community hints. Is that correct?
It's 50-50.
I mean, you never know.
Technically, yeah. I've actually had it to where the hint caves have had no helpful hints, which is why I personally absolutely despise mixed hints. I am not a fan of it, but that's just me who I am. But it does change the strategy of, right? Like, you have to make a determination. If you haven't saved and quit, you run into that deep, Death Mountain hint cave. Am I going to blow the rupees? Is this a low rupee seed? Am I going to get something for my money? And it adds a layer of strategy for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, you think about the way I just played this seed where I was skipping dungeons. I was selling out, knowing that there was out there and somewhere there were 2 hint shops that were going to hopefully those items that I need are. And I was fortunate enough to find that bow hint. Since would I have made that same play? I honestly don't think I would. I think I would have dug level 5, level 4, level 6, level 7 early. It can change the outcome of how a runner might play these hints.
Oh, I fully agree, and I think we'll see that too. But I do the same thing as you, right? I know that there's 6 hints on the overworld, and yeah, there's a chance that they're not great, but either way, you are guaranteed to get 6 hints full of information, which completely alters your strategy for how you play the game most of the time. And I think you do it right when you're playing the way you're playing in these rounds, and I think that's something that everybody should emulate. I mean, yeah, obviously they could be under a power bracelet spot or something like that. You may not find them, but I think playing to have the money to make sure that you can get hints is a very valid and useful strategy.
Mm-hmm. Definitely using retry strats if you're running into a lot of door repair charges early. I mean, a lot of money and I'm near start and I need to up A, I'm going to save. Or if it's not going to hurt me to up A, I'm going to save. Because not only, especially if there's a hint shop near start. I mean, if there's a hint shop within 5 screens of start, 6 screens of start, man, you've got to use that strategy. it's so useful.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Yeah, again, everybody should do it. It's the hints are so big that again, it just completely alters the way you play, which is why mixed hints adds a different strategy, but at the same time, it can really be frustrating because again, what if you don't have all the money and you want to buy 2 hints, right? And you get the 2 hints that aren't something useful, but your opponent picks the one that is. It's just a massive advantage because any level of information in the randomizer is super valuable because if I don't have to dig level 6, right? All of a sudden that eliminates, 25 rooms maybe that you don't have to deal with. And, that's 3 or 4 minutes worth of time by itself.
In the seed like this, where both those Triforces were, I think both those Triforces were within like 3 rooms of start.
Yep.
I mean, if I dig those dungeons, that's 5 minutes a dungeon or whatever, easy.
Yep, that time commitment was exactly what we were talking about with you. Decisions is, okay, yeah, we may lose 5 minutes, or we may save 5 minutes, but you may miss a big item. But it's that trade-off, right? That you've got to balance perfectly on these seeds if you want to get first as you progress, tougher and tougher into the bracket of, okay, which ones am I actually going to commit this time to? Which one am I not? And also to go back to what you guys were talking about with the helpful hints, that's one more layer too of resource management that you have with your money. Do you get the blue ring? Do you save that money for helpful hints? Do you get the arrows because you saw Goma in one level? I mean, it's one added layer that I really, really like about these flags.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I'm a big fan. If I don't see Pole's voice on the overworld, bow and arrow, like if I see arrows, I like to buy them early because if I run into the bow and I don't have to deal with gigantic Pole's voice room, that's a huge advantage too because you're not taking 10 hits to kill 8 Pole's voice. That's 80 hits. That's absurd. But that might be what you need to do for the ladder.
I think Fury mismarked the map because again, potion. Okay, never mind. Like 9 is just to the east of this.
Mismark it.
No. There's a potion in that vanilla 5.
Overworld, other than the raft spots, those are the only spots I never went to.
Yeah, we were wondering what your map looked like because I think after getting that feast of 1, it was pretty much full cleared, right?
For some reason, I cleared the last 2 spots, and they were both, of course, door repair charges. I don't remember what I was looking for, honestly, because I had everything I wanted. I was trying to process the hints and try to running the thoughts through my head over and over, and I just wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, which happens sometimes in randomizer. It's kind of silly, but
well, it was very well played. I mean, a seed that was as trolly as this to finish at 103 is very commendable. So, well done, sir.
Thank you, guys.
And confirming the magic sword was 12 hearts, as Fury unfortunately is going to have to go wood sword through level 9. But it's again, the enemies aren't hard to clear, so not really too big of an issue there. And I think you'll clear this room, and we'll find out that Zelda is here.
Yeah, this would be nice info.
Got that compass.
Yeah.
I would have not
you missed this room coming through. Yeah.
Yes.
It would have been full clear 9 other than this corner probably because, you never expect her to be right by start.
Fury trying to beat down the door with the wand stick. It's not going to work, Fury. We've tried that before.
Not until we get Holy Grail on Zelda.
That's door. Right, yeah. Maybe I can pry it open with the head of the stick. Who knows?
So, yeah, I mean, you go to 1-0 now, JSR, which is going to put you into a very, like, I think by the second round, we're really going to have things even out as far as level of opponents. And I think next round, too, there's going to be some very difficult people to play. I think this time we really only got one major crazy matchup, and that's the Jay Coper Presticle matchup. As far as, like, really, really crazy ones of, this is going to really screw the 0-1 guys too, right? There's going to be somebody that's 0-1 that's got to deal with one of those two guys. And I would not want to be that guy, at all. They're both very competent players. And so, you move up to the 1-0, and if you can get to the 2-0, you just got one more win to secure yourself that pass. So, and even if you get 2 and 3, I mean, you're in the play-in race, so it's got to feel good.
Yeah, I ended up having to get my way into the bracket stage in the last tournament through the play-in race. I definitely don't want to put myself in that position.
Yeah, 'cause
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's scary, and I think I was the last one to get in in the play-in too. Like I definitely don't even want to consider that as a. I would like to just win 3 and be able to just do the thing, but
yeah, just coast in.
These Swiss formats I think are a lot of fun just because more even playing field as you go through the tournament. It's a little lopsided at the beginning, but by the end of the Swiss stage, you're going to have very, very even matchups, and some of those 3-0 or 3-1 matchups are going to be just
rough.
Very rough.
Well, and I mean, every game counts too. Just because you hit that 3-0 and you're through, that's not where you want to stop, because from what I understand, they're seeding in the next bracket. So you want to be on the top. I say that, right? JM was from the play-in race and trashed everybody. Yep. So
that's true. That's exactly right.
That's the thing, right? There's going to be a lot of people that make it through to the bracket stage, but that doesn't mean anything because they're all going to be great players. And on any given day, it's just like football, right? The any given Sunday idea. It's the same thing. Anybody can beat anybody in Randomizer because, you know, I had a seed where I didn't finish for 2 hours and 45 minutes the other night because I couldn't find the ladder and I did everything wrong, all in the wrong order, and got super flustered. And I got like last place out of like 27 people or whatever. It can happen to anybody. So, you know, whoever you are, doesn't matter who you're playing, play your game. Play it the way that you play it and hope for the best. And, you know, if you play your best, what else can you ask for?
I think we are actually joined by Fury here. So, Fury, GG, sir.
Good game, man.
GG, Fury.
Thank you.
What'd you think?
Well, I knew I had to take risks. I took a risk, and lo and behold, here I am.
Yeah, level 5 was rough because you were a screen or 2 away from 2D Flute, which is what we needed to complete this seed. So it's rough seeing you bounce out of that one.
Yeah, like I said, I was giving myself pretty much a 10% or a 10-minute dog, so I figured my best chance was to probably take a risk in digging something I shouldn't and or leaving some behind pretty quickly. And just so happens I picked the 2 or 3 wrong levels to have to go back and dig and then back in the wrong order.
I will say this, other than the item dig and 5 like you did, as far as combat-wise and overworld exploration and stuff, you guys were on par. You were neck and neck. You had an advantage on a bit because you had ladder about 10 minutes before he did. You'd found level 1 there. And then you had the hints for the bow and 8, which was huge, big time there. And you got that actually before JSR. So this was a very close race. I mean, it was all about finding that flute and finding level 2. And JSR was able to do that before you were.
Yeah, I think I didn't notice the key door in 5 when I was pulling up my map, and that kind of doomed me. Kind of the same thing where if you have a shutter door and you forget about the said shutter door, you just don't find it again for a while. And so when I saw no bomb hole or no doors to go through and only bomb holes left, I chose to dig some other stuff where I knew I had open doors.
Been there, done that, sir.
Oh. Yeah, I don't feel too bad about it. We did some good things, did some poor things.
No, that's every seed. That's every seed.
A really hard seed.
You have one small victory in this. You did not pay a bomb to the level 8 Life or Money room.
Yep, I was lucky enough to grab that map. I'm like, nope, you're not getting anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's somebody in this room that did that. You can figure out who by process elimination.
Well, if you didn't walk up first and you saw that, you're like, well, what do we got to lose?
Well, he had the map.
He had the map, so he just walked into it. Nicely done, sir.
We'll just say I was not.
I will say JSR also had the mapping bombing through, bombed into a black space as well.
Yes,
so
that was great.
Nice.
Go back and watch that VOD, JSR. That was
I'm gonna watch the VOD just so
good
I can
times, man.
What not to do next time?
So good.
Like I was legitimately feeling the heat, man. This is a seed that if you did it in the wrong order, if you made the wrong gambles, you could run in it. And I was feeling it, man. I didn't find the hint shops till very late, and I was Triforcing going a lot of the early dungeons, so I didn't have the bow, I didn't have the silvers, I didn't have the ladder, and I was about 5 Triforces in, and I was feeling pressure. and errors, but that last hint shop was the key for sure.
Yeah, the bow hint, I saved you a lot because, again, I don't know. For me, anyways, I wouldn't go back to 8 with one room left, even if, for whatever. I would check another dungeon probably because getting there was a bit of a chore. But, the other major turning point, again, was the recorder. Had Fury gotten the recorder at a 5, this would have been really close, I think.
Yeah, this can be very close. And this was a pleasure to watch. I mean, this was back and forth all the way up until the end. I mean, Fury had an advantage that received advantage of having the information that you didn't. And I tell you what, if that hint was any other hint, this could have gone the other way too, because the first item Fury grabbed out of 8 was the bow. It was the red ring was the second one that you dug. So if that knowledge wasn't there and you were just exploring and finding items, then this could have gone the other way as well.
Yeah.
Luckily, I also found that level 1 hint. That kind of saved me a lot too.
Yeah, 8 was very good to you for that reason, for sure.
Why, thank you.
Great. GG's 8. GG's.
I want to thank you, Fury, for an amazing race, man. Thank you so much. And good luck to you in the rest of the tournament. And hopefully I'll see you in the next round. And also, thank you, Agen, Redbird, and Speed Gaming. I appreciate all you guys.
Yeah, thanks again. Thanks to Speed Gaming and Feasel for catching this late race and getting it restreamed for us for sure.
Yeah, definitely. They do a great job on the back end there.
Yep, thanks to everybody involved.
And also,
go
who
ahead,
doesn't get it, but a big shout out to Quest Wizard, who is the man behind the layout that you see here that makes it so darn easy for us to give you restreams that are quality.
Oh, yeah, dude. I didn't know that he was the one that made it. That's awesome. Yeah, they're amazing, amazing layouts.
Yeah, our job is very easy with everything we have in front. Sure.
All right, fellas. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go, but I appreciate it again, and thanks to everyone watching as well.
Yep, GG's to you, sir. GG's.
Have a good night, sir.
Yep.
GG's.
Hey, Jenny, let's take us out of here.
Yeah, I think we got another match. Let me check. Tomorrow, what's it coming up? It's the Saber race, isn't it?
I haven't looked at the schedule.
Nope. The very first one, it'll be Zyre versus the Seawolf.
Probably be a good one.
So that'll... Well, no, nope. Hold on. Double check. I'm looking at the schedule and I'm like,
I'm looking at it
that's
right
not
now.
entirely true.
Trying to bring
Random
it up.
Effect in Vicnin. Random Effect in Vicnin at Speed Gaming 3 tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Am I reading that right? 5 o'clock Eastern. Then there'll be Skybills and Tetra. Zyre and the Seawolf will be the next day. So there's just 2 races so far tomorrow, or today, I guess, isn't it? And so make sure you catch those.
Yeah, I think I see a couple more that are on here that we don't have the reach for, so stay tuned. Imasak and Jam Evil at 3 o'clock Eastern, and Purity the Kitty and Ryan 7 at 4 o'clock Eastern. I don't see a restream for them, but they are on the schedule there as well.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the ones that need to be scheduled. Forget me. It's late.
No, you're good. Yeah, Imasak and Jam Evil is the first one we're going to come across tomorrow at 3. We don't know where yet, so stay tuned, everybody. The first one that we have one for is Speed Gaming 3. It's Random Effect in Vicnin. That's 5 o'clock Eastern.
There we go. Refreshing is a good thing.
No worries.
Ta and Pierpont, TA 909 and Pierpont Limpkin. That will be a very fantastic match. Don't miss that one.
Tomorrow's
no
a great
restream for
day
it
of
yet,
racing.
but
Yeah.
so. Anyways, thank you again to Speed Gaming. Thank you very so much, Red. We will have some more time. I like casting with you, my friend. First time with you. Had a lot of fun. So hope to work with you again.
Hope to do this again for sure.
Have a good morning.
Good morning, guys. Get some eggs, breakfast, whatever you need.